you didn't know summer could get this creepy. Ditch the pool, grab your drills. We're diamond painting in the shadows tonight. Each canvas sparkles with a hint of dread. Sun blazing outside, darkness creeping in. Ready to turn your staycation into a summer scare? Hit subscribe and let's paint the shadows together.
Hey, hi, hello, and howdy. Welcome to Dark and Creepy's Figure It Out Friday, where mystery meets sparkle and every canvas hides a chilling surprise. Each week, we'll chip away at the unknown, one square at a time, trying to guess what the hell we're making before the drills tell all. Is it a monster? A meme? A masterpiece? You'll just have to stick around and figure it out with me. This is not your grandma's crafting channel. This is Figure It Out Friday, and the mystery starts now. Let's go. And here he is, you guys, the man of the hour, Jason, in his iconic movie drowning pose. There you are. I know he's sideways. I'll insert a picture having him right side up for you. This canvas was in my gem flow inventory as question mark 1 horror mystery number 27 in my overall stash. It is a DAC Mystery Canvas number 35, genre horror. It was 56 centimeters by 79 centimeters rounded up, or about 22 inches by 31.5 inches. Again, the manufacturer was DAC. The artist is Christopher Lavelle. I did buy this canvas when it was released in February of 2023, February 8th to be specific. And it cost $67.99. And I'm sorry, you guys, it is no longer available. It has been retired. So he is no longer purchasable. But if you're interested in him, you might get lucky and find him on a D-Stash site. You never know. There were 55 colors. 3 were ABs. And the ABs are found bordering all the bubbles and filling in some of the bubbles. Bordering his hands here. And a little bit in this wound on his shirt, or splatter. I guess this would be splatter because there's, I don't know. It's hard to tell. I think it's maybe a wound because there's like a dark hole here. But most of it's like over here. So I don't know. Wound, splatter, situation. It is square drills. There are approximately 70,784 drills to this canvas. It took me about 67 hours. Apparently, numbers are as hard as words. It took me 76 hours. I started it on July 11th and finished it on July 17th. That would be, well, at the time of filming, that's today. But you're not going to see this until like August 1st, so way in the future. So yeah, you guys, there you have it. Those are the general stats of this canvas. What do you guys think? What's your initial impression? Like, what jumps out at you about this canvas when you're looking at it? The first thing that jumped out at me was, and I think Sundown even said it in the first video or the second one, Cartoon Network. And I was like, yeah, I get a Scooby-Doo. This to me feels very much like the Scooby-Doo version of Jason. A very cartoon looking version. Not very realistic, just very coloring book, cartoony feel and look to it. I have to agree with Sundown on that. But you can tell who it is. It's definitely Jason. Almost a chevron right here. They got close. It got close to being a chevron. I guess you can't have everything. Can't always get what you want, is the famous saying. So let's kind of talk about this. I gotta tell you guys, I am super thrilled to have this done because it was the bane of my diamond painting existence. Never have I ever had a canvas that was so confetti heavy, especially from DAC. historically, when I've done and reviewed DAC canvases, my biggest complaint is there's a lot of color blocking, line blocking, very simplistic. It was very fast to do, very beginner level. Well, this one spanked me a little and showed me who was boss with all the confetti. Very confetti heavy. Bordering on nightmare. This might actually be the most confettidocious canvas I think I've ever done. There were some trashy drills. The 310s and the 939s were the biggest trashy culprits, but you know, we kind of expect that. There was gapping in this canvas as well, though I have to say it didn't seem as bad as it did on our last mystery canvas. I don't want to say the name because somebody might not want to know or might not have seen it, and I don't want to spoil anything, but the last DAC mystery that we just finished, number 36, was super mega gappy. This seemed like it was a lot less gappy, though still very, very gappy. Let me see if I can show you. Now I'll turn on that light and turn this one off, and there we go. You can still see all the gapping throughout the whole thing. Now, while we're looking at the canvas like this, it's worth noting that until about, was it about here? No, halfway, until almost somewhere in this area, until somewhere here down, I did use a DAC old square version 3D printed ruler from a shop, and then I did the top freehand to see, does the ruler fix the gapping? And I don't think it fixed the gapping issue. I think it just made the gapping more uniform, whereas doing it by freehand, the gapping's kind of all over the place. Doing it with the ruler, the gapping is very uniform and linear. So did it help? I mean, yes and no. It didn't alleviate gapping. It just made the gapping more palatable, less offensive, I would say, than up here where I freehanded. And there will be a video about these rulers coming out soon. So there's that. Watch your eyes. We're going back to regular light. There we are. So arguable whether a ruler helped. I do know that these drills seem much more straight and uniform than up here where I was multi-placing and freehanding. So take that for what you will. It will not fix gapping. Let's see what else. And as I mentioned, I feel like overall there's a very cartoon-esque appearance to this canvas. It feels very, like I said, just not realistic, very cartoony. And I know that subject matters like this and canvases this size can look realistic because I've done some from other places that do look realistic. Maybe it's the artist's preference, or maybe it's the company's rendering style. It seems to be kind of a rendering thing, I think, because it does have the coloring book outlines of everything. Everything is outlined like a coloring book. So I'm not sure, but it just contributes to a very cartoon feel. I think that they copped out on details, and I'm going to throw some pictures at you while I talk. They'll pop up on the screen, but I'm also going to point them out on the canvas. What I mean by they copped out on details is this. Like right here, here's a bubble. Bubbles are, you can kind of see through them, but they morph, the appearance of what's on the other side. We see a bit of his glove here, but not anywhere else. It just like cuts off really harshly. Here in the rope chain, I mean, I know it's supposed to be a chain, but they colored it like a rope, so I'm really confused. But like right here, there's like broken links and links that don't fully form or connect. And there's a garbled up link here, and this is a little murky here. So it makes it really hard to tell if this is, and see, like right back here, they abandoned the, through here and back here, they abandoned the form and just make them blotches. But then they go back to having a shape of a link or a rope braid here. At times, it looks like a rope braid, and at times it looks like a chain link. And then it's all broken and garbled right here. Kinked, maybe? Don't know. But I feel like that was kind of a cop-out there. And a cop-out here with his buttons. This is all one color, well, multicolored shirt, but it's like a flat base background, right? And then what they did is just took and put like 2, 4, 6, 8, you know, made a circle to infer a button here and here and here and here and here in the shirt. And I'm like, you could have colored these. You could have made them a different color. You just kind of took a background and slapped a shape on it. Boom, boom, boom. I noticed this throughout the whole shirt. It's like a plain shirt, and they took a black color pen and just drew details on top of the shirt. Same with the bubbles. For the most part, the bubbles are all outlined. And this one's really weird. This one has like this weird U shape on the side, or backwards C. Again, I feel kind of like they copped out a little bit on the details in that regard. Weeds. The weeds down, oh, it's hard to see because of the light. Let me move the light a little bit, maybe, so you can kind of get a better, I know it's dark and kind of murky, but the weeds are all like that line blocking. They're just like, you know, scraggly lines right here. Very, well, let's put 3 drills here, and then 3 over here, and then 4 over here, and then 4 over here, and oh, we're going to call that a weed, you know, kind of thing. It wasn't, it's very, I don't know. Maybe having the light on it will help a little bit more. Tell you so you can see what I'm talking about. It's like 8 drills here, 4 over 1, over 1, 6, over 1, 7, over 1, 5, over 1, 4, over 3. It's just like a line, a broken up line, and they're green and they're calling it grass. I don't know, but you can see the rocks back here, which is nice. On the ground, on the bottom of the lake, you can make out a rock detail. But again, like I said, I felt like that was kind of, I don't know, copping out on some detail. Also, with the paint splatter effect, white ABs throughout here to indicate water disturbance. More bubbles forming, and like they just kind of chunked 3 right here. Is he farting? Like it's coming from behind him. 3 little ones in a row, evenly spaced. Boop, boop, boop. Right here too. Boop, 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 boop. He's like right there. It just looks like he's farting. It's not coming from his mouth holes. It's coming from behind him. He's like, I guess this experience literally is scaring the you-know-what out of him. I don't know. But the bubbles are weird. I get the effect what they're trying to do and what it's supposed to look like, but it just seems really strange and odd that air bubbles, instead of coming from his mouth, would be coming from behind him. Let's see, what else? I already talked about everything being outlined and having like a coloring book look. There are some random pixels that are driving me insane. Now these might be feeble attempts at bubble like inference, like this 1 blue dot here, these 4 right here, these right here I think is supposed to be a bubble, but there's like 1 over here. There's a 1 random white drill in his eye, not in both eyes, 1 eye right there, and it's an AB. Why? Random pixel to me. Random pixels down here, some bright blues right down in here. So I mean, it's bound to happen really with any canvas. And you've got some random ones here that maybe are supposed to be more of this bubble stuff, but they show up on his ear and his side of his face and his broken mask. Really odd placement. Totally kind of, I don't know, overdone on the paint splatter white dots or what. But just makes it look odd and detracts attention away from the main focus, especially this 1 random white drill in his eye. Now, if it had been in both, that would have been cool, and I can fix that. I can change that and make it in both, so it looks like light's bouncing off the pupil, you know, or iris or whatever biological, I don't know, part of the eye that reflects light. So, there's that. Then we have some strange kind of art choices. Again, the rope situation, that it's the color of rope and looks like a rope braid at times. Still the color of rope, but looks like chain links. That's an odd choice. And then here's the infamous finger. If you saw the pictures on Facebook group, here's the infamous finger. And it is AB enhanced at the top for emphasis. But, I mean, my friends, let's get real here. What are we looking? Tell me what you see, because I see it. I know you see it. Stop. There's that, and then there's this weird black line right through his thumb. Now, at first I thought, well, maybe these gloves are leather and they have some kind of binding there, but then it would be on every fingertip, you know, showing, but it's not. It's just one random black line right through here. Screw up? Probably. Strange. But, yeah, we definitely have the questionable fingerling here. Appendage. And the rope, and then, you know, this scraggly line and all these white speckles back here. But I was happy. I think this is one of the last that I saw and that I'm aware of, like, truly horror genre, even though it is retro, so, you know, it lacks like the gore and stuff. But, you know, this is one of the last true horror genre shout outs that I've seen from DAC since this time period. These were kind of the last of, and everything else that they've deemed horror or dark or whatever has been really softcore and not as either iconic and obvious, or it's been really soft and cutesy. It just hasn't been what I would consider horror genre. So this is kind of like the end of an era right here. I know I'm reaching for you too, era. Genre era, come back. I'm trying to hold on to you, sir. But yeah, you guys, those are my thoughts. That's my thoughts. Those are my opinions on this canvas. We do have some weird AB right here. AB emphasis right through here. Don't know. And then all these frickin' speckles. Now, we did see these speckles on Princess Fluffer Nutter Snuggle Bug of Persia, or whatever her name was, that Kristen sent me in the great canvas swap. That was a fantastic idea. But we saw these like little independent pixel splatters on that canvas too. And if you remember, it was along the bottom of the cat, and it was like totally random. Like, what the heck is that? And then ghost orb type imagery, which is turned into, I guess, fart bubbles here. They seem to be, this company or these artists seem to be really fans of this speckle enhancement, and ghost orbs in their art. They drive me nuts. It drives me nuts. It was a bunch of unnecessary confetti, all these independent pixels, and some really, I understand the AB in the bubbles. I get that, but the AB in the background right here, strange. I get the ABs kind of where light might be hitting him from here and here. I guess the light's coming from this area. Interesting, because it lights on his fingertip here too. It's AB'd here and here, but this is all dark. There's no light coming down right there. It's kind of a little strange, but yeah, those are my thoughts. Kind of all over the place, and that's okay because I'm on staycation, so I can do what I want while I'm on staycation. Let me know in the comments down below. Have you done this canvas? Have you seen this canvas? Do you have it and not done it yet? what are your thoughts regardless, you know, whether this is a canvas that you have done or will do, even if you don't have it, like, what do you think? How do you think it turned out? Do you share my opinions? Do you disagree with my opinions? I'd love to hear all the things down below. And until next time, stay naughty, friends. Staycation. You might get lucky and find them on a D-stash site. Words are hard. So at times it looks like a rope blade.